In today's video, we're going to do a deep dive on my Bracket 3 Commander deck based around Fluctuator and New Perspectives, Commander Cycle Storm, and then we're going to hop on into a game. Let's go check it out. This is my Cycle Storm Bracket 3 Commander deck, and my commander is Ramos Dragon Engine, a 6-mana artifact creature, a 4/4 flying. Whenever you cast a spell, add a +1/+1 counter for each of that spell's colors. Remove 5 counters from this creature, add 10 mana to your mana pool, 2 of each color, only use this ability once per turn. Why is that so good? Well, you have to understand how the deck functions. So we're really a New Perspectives deck. A 6-mana enchantment for 5 and a blue. When it enters, you draw 3 cards, and then as long as you have 7 cards or more in hand, you can cycle for free. Okay, so the idea is that you want to cycle things like Faeries or Oliphant or even Savai-Triome. Okay, so all these costs are reduced to 0. And that's important because Fluctuator reduces by 2. Well, in our deck with Triomes in it, those aren't reduced, okay? So New Perspectives is actually the best thing that you can do here. And then you want to cycle a bunch, filling your graveyard with a whole lot of creatures. We have a bunch of land cycling creatures in this deck, like this Spectral Snatcher. So when you cycle these, you want to grab swamps from your deck, like Rafine's Tower, and then cycle those. So the land cyclers are actually the best ones that you can cycle early because they thin the deck of 2 cards. We like that. So when your deck is full of creatures, you have a Crypt of Agadim that taps for a black mana for each black creature in your graveyard. Okay, so we have 20 black creatures in this deck, so it can make a bunch of mana. Alternatively, we do have Songs of the Damned. So once your graveyard is full, you can make a bunch of mana. But what if you're tapped out? What if you pay 6 mana for New Perspectives and then you have nothing? Well, we have 5 ways to make mana. A Lotus Petal, and then you have Esper Sojourners that when you cycle it, you untap a permanent. Same thing here with the Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Sheffet Monitor cycles for a basic swamp. Okay, so that sort of makes a mana. We like that. And then you have Balrog of Moria that cycles for 2 treasures. This is actually really important for later on. So you cycle, and then that provides the mana to cast your Songs of the Damned or whatever, and that's pretty good. So now you have a full graveyard and a bunch of mana. What do? Well, you have Empty the Catacombs that returns all creatures from all graveyards to their owner's hand. You have Reaping the Graves that returns a creature from your graveyard to your hand with Storm. Shadow of the Grave that returns all discarded cards this turn, including your lands, to your hand. So this is actually one of the best cards in the deck. And then Reckless Dreams, it's the worst one, but it's the 4th effect, and it's also the most efficient one to cast, so I think it's just fine. So now you return a bunch of things to your hand, and now you'll want to play Draenei Stinger or Magmakin Artillerist to win the game. That's where Ramos Dragon Engine comes in, because you can now make red mana to cast both of your win conditions and start pinging the table for lethal. And that's why the Balrog of Moria is so good, because it can make that red mana off of 2 treasure tokens. So that's how we win. And the deck casts New Perspectives by having 11 tutors. We have our 3 game changers, Vampiric Tutor, Imperial Seal, and Demonic Tutor. Along with the 8 other tutors in the deck, that's how you always find your New Perspectives. So it's pretty consistent at winning the game on turn 4, 5, 6. And I've played it in both Bracket 3 and Bracket 4. It's sort of a bad Bracket 4 deck or a really good Bracket 3 deck. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to play a Bracket 3 game. But how do you get New Perspectives on the table on turn 4? Well, we do have that Lotus Petal that I mentioned. We also have Soul Ring, Rain of Filth, Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, and then a bunch of these crystals. These crystals are really nice because they cycle so that you don't fizzle when you're in the middle of your combo, but they also accelerate you into New Perspectives. It's why we're playing Beneath the Sands and Migration Path as well. So we have all these mana pieces that either cycle or accelerate us into it. I love Lake of the Dead for that same reason. It accelerates you into New Perspectives in a deck full of swamp cycling creatures. And then once it's in play, that New Perspectives, you can then untap the Lake of the Dead with your Esper Sojourners or even Faeries. With Faeries, you can cycle it and then reanimate it with Unearth or Jolted Awake, which is pretty cool. And that's the deck tech. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. But you can also support this specific video by sharing it with your friends, your local Discord, whatever you've got to do. I have a feeling that this video is going to hurt the algorithm just because we're usually a 60 card competitive deck channel, but I wanted to showcase a deck I've been having a lot of fun with. So if you enjoyed this video, share it, make sure that I don't get punished for uploading something I enjoy. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the game. Don't go anywhere. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Welcome to the game. This is my second time recording this because I had a microphone issue the first time, so let's see that this one goes well. I won the first game, but then my mic cut out, and that's not ideal, so I restarted, and hopefully it's good this time. I've opened up New Perspectives and Vampiric Tutor, which is just kind of insane. So we can play the first turn Zagoth Triome, on the second turn play Canyon Slough, and then Vampiric Tutor for Lake of the Dead, and that gives me a turn 3 New Perspectives. This just might be the nut draw. And I don't want to showcase the nut draw, but because I feel like people are going to be like, you're just pub stomping a bracket 3. That's not what I'm going for. I'm just trying to showcase the deck that I've been working on, and this is the top end of what the deck can do. I've played in a lot of bracket 3 rooms. I've played in some bracket 4 rooms. I found that my deck tends to be high bracket 3, low bracket 4. And it's sort of in that in-between spot. So we're going to try to make it work here. This person has a first turn Mishra's Workshop. Holy moly. Okay. I'm not going to feel bad against the Mishra's Workshop gamer. Okay. And now a Voltaic Key. What an open. We draw a Swamp. We'll play the Triome and pass. So next turn, I can Vampiric Tutor for Lake of the Dead, and then tap the Canyon Slough on the following turn, play Lake of the Dead, tap the Zagoth Triome, sacrifice the Zagoth Triome to Lake of the Dead. That's 6 mana into New Perspectives. So I'd have to hit some cards that make mana after that, but it is possible to win. They play a Crystal Vein. Okay. Maybe I should hold the Canyon Slough, so that way I have another land that cycles in my hand instead of having a swamp that doesn't cycle. So that way my fizzle rate's a little lower. They play Altar of the Brood. So I'm going to mill a card, which actually helps me a little bit because I want cards in my graveyard. All right, we'll play the swamp and pass. They play a Sanctum Weaver. Okay. They play a Reach Sanitarium, Grier Reach Sanitarium. I don't know if they'll use it here. Probably not. Okay, Conjurer's Bauble, that's fine. They have 2 cards left in their hand. We mill a card. This is the Sky Sovereign player's turn. It was weird. I feel like Moto skipped from this player's turn to this player's turn. Like, it didn't really do the transition. It kind of just happened. I milled over my Reaping the Graves. Now a Shimmer Mirror. So they can play artifact spells as though if they had Flash. So I'll mill over another card here. And they did put a creature to my graveyard. And now another Altar of the Brood. Gets rid of an irrigated farmland. So if I Vampiric Tutor here, they could play a spell and then get rid of the card that I Vampiric Tutor for. I will play Vampiric Tutor. And we will select Lake of the Dead. If I can find it. There we go. Lake of the Dead. Go to my turn. Any effects? No effects. Okay, so we'll play Lake of the Dead. Sacrifice the Swamp. And I will tap the Zagoth Triome for a blue. Sacrifice the Zagoth Triome. And New Perspectives. Okay, time to combo. We'll cycle the Migration Path. We hit the Esper Sojourners. That's pretty sweet. So now we can untap the Lake of the Dead. And you might be saying, what's the point? I play Sheffet Monitor in this deck, so I can cycle the Sheffet Monitor and then put another Swamp into play. So it does matter. We'll Swamp Cycle. It's usually best to always land cycle first. We'll grab this, I guess. Cycle it. Cycle the Visara Dragger. Cycle the Festering Thicket. Cycle the Regrin Triome. Spara's Headquarters, that can go to the graveyard. Mammothkin Artillerist, that's our win condition. Well, one of them with Drenna Stinger. Sheffet Monitor would probably win the game. We'll cycle the Marauding Mako. Imperial Seal. Ooh. I'm going to hold that one for now. We'll cycle the Canyon Slough. I might play it at some point. Unearth. That could get back the Mammothkin Artillerist, but I'm not ready to win the game yet. Beseech the Mirror. Cycle the Jolted Awake. We only have 6 creatures in our graveyard. Cycle the Moaning Wall, so that's 7. Okay, so I think now is a time... Actually, I guess I can cycle the Crystal first. Let's cycle Crystal, because there's only 7 creatures. Cycle the Countervailing Winds. Chitin Gravestalker, so that's 8. Okay, so if I Imperial Seal for Songs of the Damned, cycle the Crystal, Lotus Petal, play Songs of the Damned for 8, I can play the Bone Miser. Okay, I think we have a win here. We'll Imperial Seal, grab Songs of the Damned, and now we'll cycle the Crystal to draw the Songs of the Damned, play the Lotus Petal, play Songs of the Damned, and now we'll play the Bone Miser. And when I cycle the... Oh no, I can't cycle. Did I just punt? Oh no, I just punted. I can't win. I forgot that I need 7 cards in hand. I just punted. Oh no. I can't believe I just punted. So I guess I'll cycle the Glittering Massive, see if I can draw into like a Cabal Ritual to get me out of this. That doesn't do it. We'll cycle the Unearth. Oh man, I threw. I threw. I have to pass. Oh no. What was I thinking? They play an Omnath. So I can discard a card here due to the Grinder Reach Sanitarium. I feel like it's probably going to be Beseech the Mirror. And that lets me draw 2 cards. And this will bring me back up to the point where I can cycle with new perspectives. What a dummy. I had the game won. All I needed to do was not play the Bone Miser. Live and learn. So they're making me sacrifice my Bone Miser, which is fair. And now it goes to the Sky Sovereign player. And we mill over Vizier of Tumbling Sands. The one upside is that because this player used the Grinder Reach Sanitarium, I will be at 7 cards again on our turn. So I can attempt another win. And now they're attacking me, which I don't blame them. I mean, I would attack me too. I get it. And I know the part about new perspectives requiring 7 cards. I just blanked. We'll cycle the Edge of Autumn. Cycle Twisted Abomination. We'll grab Xander's Lounge, I guess. Cycle that. Ooh, we hit Empty the Catacombs. That might win the game for us if I can find a swamp to sacrifice to this Lake of the Dead. Okay, just keep cycling. I guess I have the Gloomfang Mauler in my hand, so we do have it. Cycle the Scattered Groves. Cycle the Archfiend. There's a swamp. We'll swamp cycle the Gloomfang Mauler. Grab a Savai Triome. Cycle that. Alright, so I'm going to lose the ability to new perspectives here. I'll play my swamp. And then we will sacrifice the swamp, so we have 5 mana. Empty the Catacombs. So this returns all creatures in all graveyards to their owner's hands. I will now Noxious Revival the Songs of the Damned back on top of my deck. I'll go to 32 life. Okay. And now we just have to win the game. So even though I punted, it looks like we're still going to get this one. Okay. I do have to find a way to cast this Magmakin Artillerist. I don't have it yet. Cycle the Mauler. We'll grab the Fetid Pools. Swamp cycle the Troll of Khazad-dûm. Only 1 swamp left in the deck after this. Cycle the Archfiend again. So we do have the Songs of the Damned in hand. I just need a... I want to make it worthwhile. I don't want to play it for like 5 mana. So we have to refill the graveyard here. Okay, so we're cycling. The Spectral Snatcher. I don't believe that this has something. Yeah, so my deck is empty. We're just putting creatures to the graveyard at this point. Okay. Cycle the Cloud of Faeries. 11 creatures in my graveyard now. Cycle the Zagoth Triome. Where did my Songs of the Damned go? Am I crazy? It's not in my hand, and I put it on top with the Noxious Revival. It's not even in my graveyard. What happened? Oh, I swamp cycled. That's what I did. I was an idiot, and I shuffled my deck. Okay. Got it. Cycle. Cycle the zombies. Alright, that makes way more sense. I didn't actually use a cycler. We'll cycle the Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Untap the Lake of the Dead. So I've punted twice this game, and I think we're still going to win. Reign of Filth. No point in casting that. We'll cycle the Esper Sojourners. Untap the Lake of the Dead. We will play Demonic Council and go grab that Songs of the Damned. that I, for some reason, shuffled away like a dummy. Cast the Songs of the Damned. I made this game way more difficult than I needed to. I think we'll play the Ramos, because I need red mana, and I think at this point it's like one of my easier ways of creating red mana. We'll cast Rain of Filth, just because it adds a counter onto the Ramos. Play Demonic Tutor. We'll get Shadow of the Grave. Play Shadow of the Grave. This will add another counter onto the Ramos. So this will return everything I've discarded this turn, including all of my lands. We'll cycle the Vizier, because this makes a mana. We'll untap Lake of the Dead. Tap the Lake of the Dead. Cycle the Esper Sojourners. Untap the Lake of the Dead. So now we have 5 mana. 6 mana because I'm now going to sacrifice the Lake of the Dead. And I can now play a Crystal. This doesn't add a counter onto the Ramos, but I can finally cast the Mammokin Artillerist. There it is. So I will now play the Mammokin Artillerist. This will add a counter. So then if I cast one more spell, I get the 10 mana from Ramos. And we'll just start cycling. So our win condition is on the battlefield. Okay, just keep cycling. I made this game so messy, but we somehow managed to win. I got really lucky that the person used the Bryant Reach Sanitarium when I had a Bone Miser in play. Not the cleanest of games. This could have been a turn 3 if I was smarter. Unfortunately for you, that's not what happened, and I just punted. And I played this deck a bunch. It's just like, I don't know, I was like, oh, I can do this sweet play with Bone Miser, and then I forgot about the thing that I already knew. It's not like I didn't know that about new perspectives. I was just so enticed by the sweet play. All right, my middle opponent has conceded. We'll cycle the Vile Manifestation, cycle Imposing Vantasaur. So I drew the Drain of Stinger. I just don't have a way to cast it yet. We'll cycle the Crystal. If I can find one more spell to cast, I can play the Drain of Stinger. I don't think I have one, though. Dark Ritual, that'll do it. So we'll play Dark Ritual. And this now triggers the Ramos. And I will make 10 mana. And I can play the Drain of Stinger. And now each cycle deals 2 damage. Sweet. So now we'll win this a little bit more quickly. Only a few more cycles left at this point. The Indatha Triome and the Slippery Karst to end it. Alright, so we did it. We got a win. It's pretty sweet. Alright, so if you're interested in this deck, you can check out my Mox Field. That link is in the description down below if you're interested in the deck list or any changes that happened to it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, like, comment, subscribe. Support the channel, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate you watching and sharing to your friends and Discords and everything else. Hopefully, if this video does well, I'm not expecting it to, but if it does do well, maybe I'll do more Commander content in the future. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.